You know just what you do to me.
Okay, so today's Q&A is from this person, and she basically was asking about the tips, any tips for like summer vacation when you're traveling with kids, especially toddlers in this case. If you're new to my channel, I have one toddler, just one. He will be 3 in May. So this is that age, yeah. And we've been traveling with him since he was 9 months old. He's come with us to at least 7 or 8 countries. So I've gone through a fair share of the struggles that come with traveling with a baby / toddler. I have to tell you, flying with a baby is a lot easier than flying with a toddler. I don't know, it's definitely a lot easier. Anyways, obviously I'm not going to spend time telling you where to go, where not to go. That's up to you in terms of like the countries that you want to visit for vacation. However, it's good to know that there are actually countries that are like considered children friendly. Example is Portugal. Their restaurants are very children friendly. They always make accommodation for kids. It could be the high chair. It could be that they have a play area for kids around the restaurant, in or outside of the restaurant. So think about that before you plan your trip. So let's say that you've aligned on the country of destination or the country of travel where you're going to have your vacation. The number one thing is plan your packing list. I'm a very big planner, so I always have a list. Even if I'm traveling with my toddler, I have a list of the clothes I'm going to pack. I have a list like weeks ahead. I'm already putting the list together, you know, my toiletries, because it's so easy to forget to pack something. So I always have a list. So even more important when you're traveling with a toddler, have a packing list, my dear. So think like comfort items, sanitary items like sanitary towels, wipes. Pack your wipes. You're going to always need the wipes in cases where you can't wash their hands immediately. The wipes need to suffice. Diapers, pull-ups, yeah, all of that. Change of panties, whatever. Pack all the packables. Pack all the things you know that your kid loves. If your child gets some screen time, this is a good time for you to pack that tab. If your child doesn't get screen time at all, you may want to reconsider when they're flying. It can keep them distracted for a long time. So pack their favorite toys, pack their favorite snacks. I have like 2 bowls with like lids, and then, you know, I pack his fruits, and then I pack like some crackers, some biscuits, the things that I know that he likes. I just put a bunch of things in both. There's a particular one you can get from Amazon that people tend to use a lot. I don't have the link, but I can try to show you like a picture. I'll put it here. It has like different compartments, and it's just really nice to see. However, the only downside to that is you can easily just scatter, like flip and pour out, whatever. So it's compact, but you can't trust kids with holding stuff. So obviously, if they are going to be holding that, you have to be watching them all the time. But it's good in terms of just having all those compartments. And then the other thing you can do is talk to your kid, again depending on the age of your child. If your child is at the age of reasoning, like, you know, I think from like 18 months, 24 months to 2 years, 3 years, talk to them, set expectations. We're going to be in an airplane. I'm always there with my child, like, oh my god, airplane. So because at home, for instance, Ethan, my son, he sees airplanes fly. It's like, mommy, an airplane. So I always remind him that next week you're going to be in an airplane, baby. You're going to be sitting in an airplane. So prep them for what's to come. And when Ethan turned 2, he obviously started to sit on his own, which he did not want to do, because for the longest time when we traveled with him before he turned 2, always wants to be held when he's on the plane. So it was a bit of a struggle when we started to fly when he was past 2. Since he turned 2 last May, he's not traveled as much. Maybe he's done 3 to 4 trips. But I remember those 3 to 4 trips was a hustle. It was a hustle. I mean, I even had PTSD thinking about it. Like, it was such a hustle. The next step is, no matter what time your flight is, try to get there very early. Like, listen, I'm talking at least 4 hours early, depending on the age of your child. At least for my child, I try to make it nothing less than 3 hours early. One, you have time to feel settled, check in, you know, get your boarding pass, like whatever you need to do, you can do that and feel settled. And the other reason why it's good to go early, if you're potty training your child, you can use that to like set the tone, get them prepped, get them to practice, get them to familiarize themselves with the toilet. Then you also have a break where your child can just run around, play, get tired, they eat some snacks. If you're able to pack an actual meal for them that they will eat at the airport, then do that. Some airlines actually do let you take like very small, yeah, depending on the age and the type of meal, maybe cereals and stuff. If they eat cereals, something you can pack. If it's cereals that you make yourself, you can actually pack them if they're dry and you just need to use hot water to make the food. If it's actual food, that may be slightly difficult. You can pack it if your plan is to feed them before you go through security. And then there are actually some airlines that will let you take the food depending on the age of the child. If your child is less than 2, they are a lot more flexible in accommodating certain things, like even the hot water in the flask, milk in a bottle, like things like that. But once your child is above 2, some airlines are super strict about that, so bear that in mind. So obviously, if you get there early, your child is going to just faff around, play. Please allow them run around, please. Just that it's going to be stressful for you. You also need to up your fitness game because you're going to be running helter-skelter chasing that child, or the children, as the case may be. You're not going to be able to get them to sit still. But you know, it's actually a good thing because when it's then time to fly, they would have already been exhausted. So every parent's prayer is that their kids can crash during the flight. So if your flight time is an hour or 2 hours, let them take their naps, or whatever time you're flying, let them crash. If you want them to be super engaged and awake, then you need to be able to have things like a tab, or depending on the age of your child and their interest, you can get like stickers. Try to aim to sit by the window. If you're traveling with your spouse or partner, or you're traveling with people, try to just get a window seat so you and that child can sit there. Because if they love stickers and stuff, then you can get a lot of those and they can stick them to the window, which is fun. All these very nice stickers with like different animal shapes. You know, it could even be something they've never used before. So bring surprises. Don't bring the basic toys that they already know. Bring surprises. Most times when we're traveling, I always end up buying like new set of items with that toys because you just want to spark a new interest. You need to be ready to get their eyes popping all the time. Like, oh my God, you need to give them OMG moments. So bring surprises, things they've not seen before. Don't pack all the old toys from the house that they already know. Generally, toddlers, babies to toddlers, like the attention span is still very short, maybe 5 minutes. So you always have to have something next for them. Even if you have like their favorite sleep animal, they're not going to play with that animal for a long time. So you need to have something else to engage them, just keep them engaged. Depending on the age of your child, you can also get them like kid size headphones. I haven't gotten one for my child yet. I feel like he's too young to have headphones. No headphones for him. For snacks, make sure they're low sugar snacks. Beyond the health benefits, sugar gives you a bit of a high. Your adrenaline is just pumping. Even more with children. You don't want them to be like hyperactive. So yeah, low sugar snacks. Also prepare for air pressure. If you can get like earplugs for the kids. For me, earplugs don't work for me. So I just have to keep yawning. I don't want to do it on camera, but then sometimes once I start to feel it, I feel like maybe my child is feeling it as well. I start to get him to yawn, but I make it an activity. Like it's almost like a competition, who can yawn the widest. And I know that that truly helps me. It's like to try what works for me, what works for everybody else. I just try everything. So if earplugs don't work for your child and they're going through the pain of like the air pressure when you're flying or when you're landing, you need to try other things. You know, some people gum works. So if you want to try that with a kid who can chew gum, who's at that age of like knowing to chew gum and toss, then fine. But really for me, it's just moving. Sorry, room service. You guys, sorry, we're gonna have to have a break in transmission. A girl needs to eat. Okay, maybe I can shoot the video here actually. I hope you guys don't mind. Okay, we can do it here. Oh, thank you, but you're gonna go away. The other tip that I'll share is try to make sure that your hotel is not too far away from the airport. Like your Airbnb, wherever you be staying, if you can, try to avoid it being too far from the airport, because no matter how long or short the trip is or the flight is, the child will be tired. The commute to your accommodation or wherever you're staying is not a long trip, and even your commute back when you're leaving is not a long trip. So that's something to bear in mind. Try to be thoughtful about the different cities you want to visit in a country. You don't want to overwhelm them. What we try to do is we don't do more than 2 cities when we visit a country if we're traveling with my son. Think about your kids, It could be a little bit too much for them. You know, you don't want it to get to a point where they're like, I want to go home, and then you're not going to have a good trip once it gets to that stage. So be mindful of that. I hope this has been helpful. If I think of any additional tips, I'll put them in the description or in the comments. But thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share with other parents who might need this video. All right, bye.